All right. Um, I know I've been gone for like a year, but that don't matter. Channel's still doing well. I'm sure. It's thriving, most definitely. Um, algorithm probably wants to murder me, but that's all right. We're gonna have to deal with that. Okay. I really just haven't had many good ideas. You know, I don't I don't enjoy making gaming content too much anymore. It's quite a hassle. And I'm, especially now I have a much tighter schedule to do these types of things. And this is mainly just for fun. I don't obviously I don't make money off of this, but I haven't really had any ideas or any reasons to make a video recently. Or for that matter, since like March, something came up. Our favorite little guy there, Scott Cawthon, decided to pull one out of the bag and make us a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And boy, howdy, is it something. Uh, I saw it Saturday with a couple friends. We, you know, expectations were low, but excitement, hype was high. It was up there, dude. We were we were ready to go. I tell you what. But yeah, so we I mean, I met a few people who I haven't met before IRL, so that was fun too. But yeah, so we showed up at the theater. All right, we we get there, get our food and whatnot. I didn't get anything because it was way too expensive, and I'm a working man now. Can't be spending my hard-earned cash like that. Um, but yeah, so we get there. They get some food, popcorn, candy. Uh, and we go to the theater and we sit ourselves down and we're watching this movie and oh my good lord, I thought I was ready for it to be so bad, and honestly it was. It wasn't great from objective like movie critic standpoint, and I understand why the critic ratings are so bad because objectively it's not a great film. um, but I loved it. It was just so much fun. um, Especially going to see it with my boys. That was great. I'm sure some of them are gonna be watching this. Probably the majority of the people watching this are gonna be them. Um, but yeah, so I mean, it it was great. It wasn't all right. So I mean, if you haven't seen it, I'd say now it's time to skedaddle off the little video here. But it wasn't. It didn't follow the actual like lore of the games very closely. It was loosely based. It's sort of like how the books are. If you guys are familiar with the books, I haven't read the books. I'm not that much of a loser, but you know, I'm like a medium tier loser. So I've watched like all the game theory videos on it, and that little fella Matt Pat. We'll talk about him later, but boy, he loves his books, doesn't he? So yeah, it's kind of similar to the books in that it's like loosely based off of FNAF, like the games. It's similar premise, and there was references galore. It was incredible. Uh, every time something would happen, it'd do like the whistle and point. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, it was like between like Mike thought for sure that they were gonna give us Mike as in William Afton's son, but I mean I wasn't paying attention like too terribly close. I don't know that they actually said his last name, so it's up in the air, but really not. It's not. Like they show his dad, and also they show William Afton, so and it's not the same dude. So yeah, but like it, dude. The cameos they had in it were really great too. Um, I had known that Corey Kenshin was in it, from the trailer, I didn't know before that. Nobody bothered to tell me. Like we'd been talking about the movie, and I said, "Hey, do you guys know that Corey Kenshin is in this?" And they're like, "Yeah, you didn't know?" And I was like, "Dude, yeah." When I saw that trailer, I was losing my mind, man. um, but yeah, it was so every time somebody would come on screen, it was so hyped, dude. The Matt Pat part was just great, you know. He said the line. He said it's just a theory. So that's just great. And then something I saw a video of recently, like a few hours ago actually, on his name tag, it said his name tag was Ness. So that's just a little bit of trolling on Scott's part. You love to see it. Um, but yeah, man, I was expecting the movie to be so terrible, but I was gonna enjoy it anyway. I knew I was gonna enjoy it, but I didn't expect that I'd enjoy it that much. Like I couldn't stop smiling when I left that theater. It was such a fun movie. Like I think they really did the best they could have. Like obviously it's not going to be linked to the gameplay very tightly because the gameplay, let's be perfectly honest, has never been the focus of FNAF. Like it's always it's always been about the lore. Like the gameplay. I don't think I've ever finished a FNAF game, to be perfectly honest with you. I've played it. I've played a few of them here and there, but I've never sat down and finished one all the way through because I just don't enjoy it. It's not my type of game. I have friends who've played all of them, and they still, you know, I'd say that the I get the same amount of enjoyment out of the franchise as they do, and I'm not even that big of a fan. I'll be perfectly honest. Like, I mean, there was a good week or so, about a year or two ago, when I was like, all right, I'm sick of not knowing anything about this series. Let me just sit down and watch just about every YouTube video there is on it. So I watched every single game theory video over the course of like 2 days. Then I watched Wendigoon's video on it. And dude, Wendigoon, oh my lord, I love that man. He's just a beautiful little guy, I tell you what. But yeah, so he has like an hour and a half long video, which is like short by his standards, going over like the entire lore of the series. And it, that's really what my first the first time I ever really got into it, because the games were coming out. It was in its peak when I was in like third grade, something like that, fourth grade maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so I never really got into it back when the games were first coming out. So I had a lot of catching up to do, and from what I can tell, the movie it deviated from the actual lore of the series, which is fine in my opinion. I don't think that it has to be that closely following the lore. In my personal opinion, I don't think that that's like a necessity. I think as long as it's an entertaining movie and it has like it's somewhat involved in what the original source material was. I think that's perfectly fine, and that's exactly what they did with it. So it I was honestly very impressed. I was expecting it to be bad, and I mean that's what I found with a lot of things lately is that you just have to go in with low expectations, and more often than not, worst case scenario, right, your expectations will be met. Best case scenario, and even the most common scenario, your expectations will be exceeded, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. That's always a great thing to happen when you're pleasantly surprised. And that really was. I was very much pleasantly surprised with the FNAF movie. Yeah, I'm rambling. I should probably stop. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to see more videos in this kind of style. I feel like this is the kind of stuff like I'd want to make. It's just where I can just open up Audacity, hit the record button, and just ramble about something for a little while. Maybe cut it down a little bit. I'm doing this. I'm doing this on the fly. Honestly, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna edit this at all. I might just post this audio file alone. Who's to say? But yeah, I'm probably gonna slap some gameplay on this or something. But yeah, let me know. Let me know what you guys think of this. And I might come back. You know, I kind of wanted to say I always come back there, but I felt like that's just too far. All right, and I really don't want to subject you poor people to that. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Peace out.